Hey, what's going on, guys? Before you get into the podcast and or YouTube video, I just want to say that the first 10 minutes of my audio personally are very not it's not great. So, if you can just like bear with it for a little bit with the reverb and the echo before about the 10-minute mark where I finally fix it and figure it out, I would deeply appreciate you. We have figured out the issue and this will never happen again, and this is my deepest apology. Um, so like, thanks. Now I'll send you over to the podcast.
You know what that is? Simply lovely.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a Simply Lovely podcast. I'm Corbin, joined with Caleb. Caleb, what's up, dude?
Nothing much. I'm doing good. I gotta watch Peacemaker soon. The finale's coming out, and I gotta make a video on that. So,
Sick.
not looking forward to that. I'd rather talk about racing, which is what we're about to do because that's more entertaining. So,
Based. Yeah.
obviously, but you
I
go.
was gonna say,
Go.
you enjoyed Peacemaker.
No. Anyway, let's not talk about that on the F1 stream. This is or not the stream. This podcast is the one where I'm happy. If you want to see me be depressed, I talked to Jake about how much we hate Peacemaker on our weekly Wednesday live stream. That's a podcast. So, look, here's the deal. It's a slow week because there's no race this weekend in Formula One here, which is obviously the one we follow the most. Also, other stuff kind of in the off season a bit here. So. We are
Definitely.
we got there's some news that we will talk about, but slow news week, so probably not going to be the most riddled with content filled as I think a train drives past Corbin.
Yep. I do. So, where I live, I just happen to have a train that runs literally about, I would say, about a football field or two away from my dorm room. So that's a pretty good
Totally
wake-up call.
American. Way to stick to the American. Way to stick to the American stereotype right there. Yeah, it's exactly one football field per 3 Big Macs.
Well,
Using anything other than the metric system.
That's how we measure around here, because this is America.
Using anything other than the metric system. All right. Well, we're not gonna be here for super long, but we do have stuff to talk about because why not? First up, some news from the race. Lewis Hamilton got himself a 5-second time penalty for leaving the track without justifiable reason multiple times. So Alonso actually P7, Hamilton to P8. I'd argue justifiable reason. His brakes didn't work. Maybe let's reword this a little differently. But any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we're just not in the car, so we don't really know. Okay, so obviously his brakes failed, but we don't know if his brakes failed. It was he was literally just coasting, going through the corners at
I think he had to be. He lost 50 seconds.
I would need to go back and look at it.
He had. It's an insane stat. He had the fastest lap of the race and the slowest lap of the race because of that last lap where he was 60 seconds below the time speed. But I don't know why this waited this long. I don't know why this took this long to announce.
I don't know.
Obviously, it's 4 days later. So I mean, it was the same day, right?
It was. I saw it the same day. I saw it just a few hours after.
But really, we can't It's the same with when we're investigating. It's will be investigated after the session and qualifying or stuff like that. It's like
just do it while it's going on.
It's okay, but what happens if you decide it was justified? You just kick someone out of Q3 because it's you kick someone out of Q3 and it's oh, don't worry though, the other person also is getting screwed, so it's all good.
Yeah, I don't agree with the way they handle this stuff because especially I think it was 2 years ago in Austria, the Red Bull Ring. People kept going over track limits, and there was 30 track limits thing, and so basically the session ended, and the bottom 5 got kicked out, but then after everything happened, tons of people got grid drops, and it kind of just screwed the back 5 because if it were to have happened during the qualifying session, they probably could have gone on a little bit further. And instead, they're still starting P15 or P20 or whatever because they just let the people go in front of them, and then they get the penalty later. So I think that the system is bad, and it's always like, well, the drivers need to go explain their side to the FIA. It's like, no, just make a decision.
It's like when you're playing the F1 game on Monaca and you just cut that chicane coming out of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, you got a 3-second time penalty, but you just made up like 25 seconds. So it's like, oh no, 3 seconds. It's like, yeah, of course I'm gonna do that. Like, but yeah, so Hamilton's time at Ferrari, still all sunshine and rainbows, and I'm sure he's very happy with his decision.
Yep, and Leclerc is also not depressed, so that whole situation was bad as well.
Yeah, but talking about this qualifying stuff here, we had a little bit of news because obviously next year we're gonna have 22 drivers on the grid, so obviously you can't do 5 out in Q1, 5 out in Q2.
Because we got Cadillac America.
So I believe I don't think this has been confirmed. I think this is still a rumor here, but it's going to likely be 6 drivers in Q1, 6 drivers in Q2.
And then
top 10, just like it's been in the past. So nothing massive changing. Obviously, just based off of logic, I'd assume Cadillac is going to be P22 and P21 pretty much at every qualifying, unless there's some crashes.
Are we sure?
Yes.
I think Cadillac might be doing the Sunny Hayes strat this year. They got to get a Wacer win.
Plan C?
Yeah, they're doing Plan C for combat. If they don't get a Wacer in this year, bro, they're taking away the
top. No, that's by the 3rd year technically. If we're going off Sunny Hayes' method.
Yeah, but we're just gonna speed up.
But also, can we talk about it? That was the most unrealistic part of the F1 movie. That a CEO or whatever Ruben's job was, I don't remember, would sign a contract stating that he had to win a race within his first 3 years of Formula One.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
That would never happen. I mean,
that would be the worst deal in history.
Bro, Haas has been in the F1 since.
Exactly.
Gosh.
Exactly.
2015. That's a real shot in the dark, by the way.
Exactly. Case in point, that's why that was the most unrealistic part of the F1 movie. The bottom feeder team is going to come in and they're going to sign a contract that says
2016.
That says I have to win a race by 3 years. So like 3 years is maybe when you can get a car that will catch up to the back of the pack.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what I'm expecting in Cadillac right now.
After 3 years, you'll have this year's Alpine level car, bro. Like you will not win a race.
That's why I don't know what your thoughts are on this exactly. That's why I've been like of the opinion that I really don't want Colton Herta to just like sprint into the F1 seat next year. Like I want him to actually develop in F2.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be racing in F2 and like get used to driving in a Formula car at these tracks and like prove that he is actually better. Because obviously they want him in marketing reasons.
Of course.
I want him in because Colton Herta is the GOAT. But like let's be real.
Driver.
Exactly. But let's be real. The dude's never raced in Formula One. He's never raced in a Formula Series. He's raced an open wheel with IndyCar, but obviously that's different. Fernando Alonso at the Indy 500 was absolute buns.
Yeah.
So he needs to develop, and I think Colton can do it. He's very talented.
But then
he needs to develop, and that car is going to be abysmal likely in the first 2 years, at least.
At least, yeah. I mean, hopefully.
And obviously, I believe by 2029 they're going to be making their own engines.
Yeah. Yep.
For now, they're on I think they're on a Ferrari engine.
Ferrari engine, yes. Yep.
As long as they don't get the Ferrari strategy, they'll be.
They're going to the Ferrari engine. Red Bull goes to the Ford engine in
next year.
Alpine's going to Mercedes, so there will no longer be the Renault engine. Thank God. But I think that's the only changes for engines so far that we know of.
Well, Aston Martin's going to Honda.
And Aston Martin's going to Honda. That's the one I was missing.
Yep. Obviously they're swapping out with Red Bull. Not swapping with Red Bull, but they're taking the engine from Red Bull.
Yeah. Adrian Newey with the Honda engine might be tough, bro.
We might see a Fernando Alonso race win.
I think you meant to say Lance Stroll race win. I'm a little bit confused.
If it's raining, it'll be an ultimate title fight. Rains half the races, doesn't rain the other half the races. Alonso versus Stroll title fight. I hear voices in the
Bro, if it doesn't rain, Lance is gonna get P20. If it rains, P1.
Herein lies the sun. I need to listen. Fernando Alonso versus Lance Stroll once in a lifetime.
Yeah, bro. It's gonna be.
Speaking of Aston Martin, by the way, I just find this hilarious just because there's also a meme that I thought of when I saw this. Apparently, Christian Horner, once again, non-consensually slid into the DMs of somebody. This time, however, it was asked instead of being a female employee, it was Aston Martin's. It was begging for a job from Aston Martin. And dude, instantly the meme I thought of when I saw this was this. This is Christian Horner. That's Christian Horner asking Aston Martin.
Bro. That is insane.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you have any thoughts on this at all? I don't. From my understanding, Horner can't even join a team until like halfway through next year.
Yeah. So I didn't know about Aston Martin. I heard he was gonna try to get with Cadillac. That's what.
And there were people saying that, but I don't think there was ever any actual.
I just heard rumors. So that's what I thought was going on. I haven't seen the Aston Martin one yet, which that's.
I mean, it's just funny that he asked them and it was turned out. It's like this makes it sound like he was just like he rolled up to the facility and he was like, "What up, guys?" And Lawrence Stroll was like, "No."
Yeah. I will protect Lance.
Yeah, dude. I mean, look, Christian Horner should end up somewhere.
Yeah, okay. He was very.
Dude was with Red Bull. Dude was with Red Bull for the entirety of Red Bull, and Red Bull's won how many championships with them as drivers? 8. There's been 8 drivers champions under Christian Horner at Red Bull. Seb and Max both have 4, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Are those the only 8 they have, or do they have any other ones?
I honestly don't know. I don't know. Caleb, just look it up, and I'll just keep talking while you find it.
Oh, okay. Hold on, I'll look it
up. But I mean, Christian Horner's gonna land somewhere, like you would think. So I think it's probably just time. I actually don't even think he'll be on a team next year. It'll probably be the year after. I could see him ending up at Cadillac just because they need experience.
And they do have. Obviously, he has, as we knew the whole time, 8 drivers' championships under his belt.
Okay, exactly, which we both knew. We were.
Yep, and we did not look up. We were just, that's. I said that before I looked it up, so just.
That is true.
But yeah, I mean, lots of success. More drivers' championships under Horner than what's the next closest? Toto, because he has 8 as well. Or does he only have 7? Does he have 8?
He has 8, 7 from Lewis, and then 1 from.
One of Lewis's was at McLaren's, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. I don't.
So he has 7.
So 7? Yeah,
I think. I would assume.
I would think so. That's what we're gonna.
We don't care. We're not looking that up because that's not important enough.
Yeah.
Point is, I would highly expect Horner to end up at a big job somewhere. I do think part of this Aston Martin thing might be because they got their eyes on a guy named Max Verstappen, who they want to join their team at some point.
Definitely.
And I don't think that Jos Verstappen likes Christian Horner very much.
All right, we're gonna quickly pretend those audio issues weren't happening.
Inconspicuous cut later, blah blah blah. Yep. Point is, Aston Martin does not want Christian Horner. I think it's because they want Max Verstappen. Do you think it would be a Lance Stroll Max Verstappen team, or do you think?
Yes.
Yep. You do?
Absolutely. I think if it comes down to it, Fernando's getting sacked, and
I don't think they would sack Fernando. I think they would. I think they would.
Nope.
Bro, they would just send Lance. I think they would just send Lance to like an endurance team or something. Like I think they'd take him out of F1 if they could get Max. Bro, Lawrence Stroll would probably put Lance Stroll up for adoption if he got Max Verstappen.
That is true, but then like, but bro, like we're talking about the dude that like he don't even need a contract to drive, bro. He's just on the team. You know the Drake meme where he's just in the middle of all the basketball players, bro.
Yeah,
You ain't even on the team, bro. I don't even
yeah.
like. He's got a handshake deal or some shit. Like,
You're saying this is Lance Stroll if he was a
yes,
free agent.
yes. As much as actually, well, okay, some teams actually probably like realistically, let's be honest. Would you rather have Lance Stroll or Franco Colapinto? I would rather have Lance Stroll.
Yeah,
So
but you're also a Franco hater, so that's
I'm
I
not a
don't put a lot
Franco.
of I don't
I'm
put a
not a
lot of
Franco hater.
I
I'm
don't
not.
put a
I'm
lot of
not. I'm
stock.
not. I'm not. I'm
Okay,
not.
you just said he's worse than Lance Stroll. You think you're not gonna? You think you wouldn't catch heat from Argentinian fans? You just said he is worse than Lance Stroll.
He is. That's not even ridiculous to say. He
yeah,
is.
yeah, but I don't know why you're sitting here going, I'm not a Franco hater when you are you are
I'm
one of
not
the
a.
biggest.
Because I'm not a hater. I don't. I just don't think he's that great yet. He could. He could
Bro,
be
no,
good.
no, no. This is insane revisionist history. This is insane.
Bro, if this clip gets out, bro, they're gonna find my
You
dorm room,
just
bro.
said he's worse than Lance Stroll. It doesn't matter if you think if you're a
Yes.
hater or not. I'm just saying. It doesn't matter if you're like, I'm not a hater. He's worse than Lance Stroll.
But that's not me hating. Like, I don't think Lance is like the worst driver of all time, like some people
Yes, but
do.
most people do. That's the point I'm making here.
Yeah, because most people are dumb and they don't understand
But
that
okay,
Lance is
but
low
I'm
key
not
tough.
I'm sitting here. I'm not saying you're making that correlation. I'm saying anyone who hears you say that is going to make
Oh,
that
absolutely.
correlation.
Oh yeah, hundred
So there's
percent.
no point in you trying to act like you're not a Franco hater, which you are the biggest Franco hater I've ever met.
I am not.
You were a Jack Doohan supporter, bro. You were.
Yes, bro. The Aussie icon. Like, are we
See,
serious? We sacked
so
him after a few races. Should
he
have been
was
supposed to.
there. He tried to take a DRS on. Was that on Suzuka? That was at Suzuka, right? Where he
Bro, dude, the simulator, bro. The simulator said I could do it, so I tried it higher.
Alright. Alright, this is the last thing I wanted to kind of talk about, just because this last thing I was thinking of that I wanted to talk about was because this kind of was pretty relevant to this title. So apparently, Red Bull are going to be continuing with upgrades to the RB21. They will they they think Max is going to be able to win this championship, so they are investing in it, and I
I think
guess
they're
they're
right.
willing to sacrifice some 2026 performance here with um with making this RB21 better. So
Okay. Um, I think it's a good move. I mean, because I genuinely think you might get another drivers' championship out of it because it's Max, and I still believe that Max is going to win this championship.
do you
But
actually believe that?
yes, dude, I genuinely think under some odd circumstances, dude's going to end up pulling it off.
I won't believe that until Coda probably.
I
Because
said
Coda
he,
is kind of Coda's the
yeah.
last track that is like I feel like is more kind of up in the air. After that, it's like 3 tracks in a row that I think he'll be very good at. I think the McLarens are gonna be rapid at Abu Dhabi compared to Max. So I think he's gonna need some help somewhere. But
I think we'll just have Yuki just run up the left side of the track and just take out both McLarens.
I'm just saying, you might be glad Franco is in that Alpine if we get to Abu Dhabi 20 because we might get Latifi in the wall again.
Listen, someone's got to sacrifice for
Yeah.
another Max
Dude.
championship.
Oh my gosh. This is relevant because this has happened since last time. I know I was sending you memes about it. In McLaren, or maybe, I know it was the F1 account, posted on Instagram the McLaren team photos of them celebrating their championship. Dude, the comments on anything involving McLaren, reading them is the most lobotomizing experience of my life, dude.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, bro.
they're not great.
At this point, dude, I don't know what I want to happen as a Lando Norris fan. Do I want him to win and then just have to deal with everyone not giving him credit and saying he was carried by McLaren? Lando McLaren, and it's like FIA Bowl again instead of
Mm-hmm.
like I don't need to be seeing people say like Lando Norris deserved whatever, but not the championship.
Oh yeah,
Like,
he deserved the race, but not the
I don't need to
championship.
be seeing none of that, bro. I had to deal with reading that for like 4 years. It's finally all died down. There's not many Abu Dhabi 2021 Team LH defenders anymore because they're mostly just depressed Ferrari fans now.
Yeah,
But dude, like, because at this point, if Lando wins, like, was the 3 points thing kind of cheesy? Yes, but Lando's car also exploded at Zandvoort.
yeah,
If he wins by 3 points, if he wins by 2 points over Oscar somehow, it's like, okay, then that's a little scummy. I'll say that. But like, if he loses by what, three? If he loses
yeah.
by three, then or two, I'll say two, because then if Oscar hadn't given him the three and Lando's car hadn't exploded, I think he would then have technically won. But I'd have to
Yes.
redo the math on all that. So then it's like, okay, you can't say. So it's like he's not going to get any credit if he does win. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, he won't get credit for winning, and I still don't think he's gonna. I'm telling you, Max is gonna come out. There's a star,
I mean,
Mary.
I don't.
Like
I'm more confident.
I
I am
think he's
more
coming
confident
out
that
for to get a win.
I'm
I
more
think he's going
confident that Max is going to win the world championship than Lando. But like, even while all this Max hype on the championship has been happening, Lando has also been cutting away at Oscar's lead in the last two races.
he
So,
has.
or three. It's been three in a row now that Lando has cut down on the lead. So
It's up. It's really up in the balance.
technically, it is doable. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how shocked Oscar's mental is, but it seemingly wasn't great after Azerbaijan, and he was it, bro.
He was
This whole McLaren
fiery.
thing has been a mess. People were like, I, people are saying like it's not wouldn't get applied equally, even though it literally has been. Like, and I've also seen people finding examples of Oscar doing suspicious moves, and then they're like mad about how the radio engineer handled it. And I think a lot of this comes down to the fact that we know this from Oscar radio messages in the past. He is not s- super selfish on his radio in the way he
Yeah,
talks on it. He's not bombastic at all. He's
yeah.
he's much nicer, at least how he
Mm-hmm.
talks. He might not
Very
actually
calm.
he might not be that way when he's doing it, right? Like he's
Mm-hmm.
not like he is mad. Like when he was mad that Lando made a great move on the inside, but he touched him because he also touched Max, and he was like, "Is that really racing? Whatever, blah blah." That was probably the like most passive aggressive message Oscar's ever had on the radio.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
remember, was it in his rookie year where where it was like, "Hey Oscar, you need to tell us if people are like overtaking you
oh yeah,
illegally
yeah. That was
at
at
Spa, right?
no, that was at
Spa.
the no, that was at the Hungara ring.
Oh,
I was at the Hungara ring because Checo, I think it was Checo, literally just shoved
yeah.
him off the track and he didn't say anything. And they were like, "Hey, Oscar, like,
Yeah, and I think that is why when it's like if you just look at the radio transcripts, it's like because the take I've been seeing is it's like Lando's engineer is there for Lando, whereas Oscar's is there for McLaren, and it's like I don't actually think that's true at all. I just think Lando's probably far more assertive on the radio. I mean, Lando bottled his first ever win because he was way too assertive on the radio.
yeah,
Lando, you want to come in for inners? No, no, shut up, leave me alone. Crash.
yeah, crash, yeah,
So
yeah."
right, Lando grew up like that. So I think it's like it's just I don't know.
It's just kind of
I
weird.
do think
I
Zach Brown very much wants Lando to win over Oscar because
oh, 100
Zach
percent.
Brown is Lando is Zach Brown's boy. But I don't think that reflects McLaren's attitude as a whole. I think McLaren is just stupid.
Yeah, I think they're just not. I don't know.
Like I don't think
It's
there's
so
secret.
messy.
I don't think there's a team meeting every week. Because if that was the case, Um, was it? It was just. How do I always forget the track? It was Imola, right? Was it Monza? No, we were just at Monza where that
Hmm.
happened with the pit stop thing, right?
Hmm.
And um, if that if it was a case where McLaren was actively sitting here like sitting in a dark chamber, like how do we make sure Lando wins the title and
Yeah,
Oscar
bro. And they got
doesn't?
a cat. They got a cat
Then they
savior pet
yeah
me, and they spin
then
around
they
in the
wouldn't
chair. Like,
have even offered the option to Lando to let Oscar undercut.
yeah,
And also, Oscar would be having slower pit stops, whereas Lando's been the one getting all these extremely slow pit stops. And obviously, that's not entirely, but they would mess up once in a while if they just so happened to actually want Oscar to have a. They
Yeah.
really needed Lando to win, especially now Constructors is wrapped up, which it was wrapped up 10 races ago. They knew they were going to win
Yeah.
Constructors. They would have they would have chipped a little piece off his rear ring or something when he came into a pit stop, and then it'd been like,
oh
how did that? It
no,
was an accident.
oh you
So
got hit by a
obviously,
bird or you hit
it's
a
pretty
bird or
clear to
something.
me.
And
Now, if you want to sit here and say Zach Brown wants Lando to be a champion, whereas he doesn't, he'd if he had to choose, he'd pick Lando. I agree with that 100% because that's Zach Brown's boy. But Zach Brown also, I don't think, is actively sitting there having meetings with, uh, what's their team principal's name?
Andrea Stella.
Yes, Andrea Stella. And like, okay, here's the thing. You need to. I can't do a Zach Brown impression. You gotta. I need you to make sure Oscar is 2 seconds behind the pace of Lando. Right? He's not doing that. He's just sitting there, and he might be like, "Nah, Lando lost a race. Nuts.
Yeah.
Oscar won." But he's not actively sabotaging that.
Yeah, I don't know. I also think like what happened in Singapore, like with Oscar being on the radio, you do have to remember like these guys are under like adrenaline's flowing. So sometimes whenever they get on the radio, they say like stupid
Also,
stuff.
from
And
Oscar's
like
onboard, it looks malicious out of Lando.
it
Have you
does look
seen the clip from like
yeah, it looks
the
pretty bad.
second you see Lando's? It's like, oh, it's because he avoided Max.
Yeah. And
He
also
avoided a
like
bad collision with Max.
like Oscar, I mean it was a racing incident. It really was.
They're fighting.
So
These guys are fighting for world championship. They're gonna be on the radio trying to get every point they can.
yeah.
Like I don't like. That's why I don't like it when people fault Lando for stuff, and they're like Lando's crybaby and to get the 3 seconds back or to get the 3 points back in Monza, and it's like okay, and every driver when they get overtaken on track says force me off,
He
push
forced
me
me off.
wide, push me
Yeah.
wide. That's every driver does
He
that
has to give the
because
position back.
exactly because every driver wants the to maximize their effort. So if they get past, they're going to. Also, all these guys are egotistical. They think they're the best in the world, which is what you should think if you're an F1.
Yeah,
So there's no logical reason why they would get overtaken because they're the fastest driver.
exactly. Oh, it's the
So
car. Oh, the tires, mate. The tires.
exactly.
No grip.
So as much as people want to sit here, Lando, blah 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 blah, dude. If you're gonna blame anyone, blame McLaren. It's not Lando's fault.
Yeah.
All right,
Just I don't know.
McLaren's the one that
Let the fellas drive.
let him drive. It's racing. At this point, bro, they gotta stop this papaya rules crap.
Yeah.
I think it's dead now because I think Oscar's too annoyed to let it go by. But
Yep.
like it was a racing move. Lando is behind in a world championship. If you think he is not going to make a somewhat risky, if Max or Lewis or who like
If Lewis did that
or
exact
Charles
same move,
Leclerc or Fernando did that move, it'd be like that's the championship mentality. That is the thing that separates them from the rest. Lando does it.
greatest move of the year.
Oscar, if Oscar does it, what an overtake. Lando does it. Bad teammate. McLaren's favoring Norris again. It's like,
yeah, it's true. It genuinely is true.
because people have convinced themselves that Lando is not a championship level driver.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But
whereas like
yeah,
he got second last year.
Yeah,
He has
but and it okay, and we've talked about this before, and I'm not a Lando Glazer by any means, but let's just like think about this real quick. The dude hadn't won a race ever before Miami
until last year.
Till Miami last year, which we were watching in church. That was fire. Anyways, we literally needed God's prayers for Lando to get a win. So
And it happened. Red flag.
and it did happen.
Or was that it was a yellow flag, wasn't it?
No, yeah, yellow. Yellow at the most perfect timing ever. But anyways, he wins his first race, and all of a sudden,
immediately in a title fight with Max freaking Verstappen.
and finds himself with the Iceman, the Flying Dutchman, the greatest driver on the planet, Max Verstappen, the Demon. I'm just like, how else is he gonna like react?
Max in a slower car that needs to extrapolate every single advantage he can racing against Lando, who has never won a race until a few months ago.
Yeah,
and he's thrown right into that title battle.
Yeah, so I don't think people give him as much credit. Of course, you're going to be under I don't think there's any driver on the grid that would have been able to be put in Lando's position and they'd stay cool enough to not.
I think I think the only two that would have been Fernando and Lewis because they have
Fernando and Lewis would have been fine.
They've been in title fights and they could compete with it.
Yeah. Other than that, I think I would almost say
maybe Leclerc.
I would say Charles, but also 2022. 2022, he was in a little bit of a title fight, and we watched him.
Wasn't that mostly a lot of that was Ferrari though too?
Bro, he had some driving problems where he'd get out front, like he crashed in.
Yeah, but point
is, Abu Dhabi. Yeah, that was bad.
Point is, Lando was put into a scenario where he had very little experience, even winning races, let alone fighting for a title. Like, still a very young driver as well, and he did. There were comments he made this or past week about Max. That of course, because it's Lando talking about somebody, people took to be like Lando was complaining about something. Where he basically like made a comment about how Max was born into F1 and like he's born in a racing seat essentially.
Okay.
And
I don't think. Okay. Now I know what you're talking about. I read it and I see where he's coming from. But if you're an F1 and you made it to Formula One, it doesn't matter.
It does. I mean, it does to an extent.
It does because you grew up in the sport and you grew up with like.
But I'm not even saying that. If Max, I know people love to make memes about Max's childhood and be like, Yost was a terrible father and all this stuff, and I'm sure you could argue that. You could argue till you're blue in the face with someone about that. The point is, Max wouldn't be who he was if his dad didn't push him the way he did, and I don't know that Max holds that against his dad either. I think Max is probably glad about it because Max is a 4-time F1 champion. Yeah. If Max didn't get left at the gas station, that's how you build. So it's like that's how Max was raised. Whether you think that's right or not is a whole other conversation. Point is, Lando's dad was not leaving him at gas stations for losing in kart races or getting second in kart races.
It is true, but I'm just like I just think I do get where he's coming from. It's just like if you're an F1, like you're one of the best drivers in the world, and I just think you should be able to compete.
Yeah, I mean he can compete, but it's still Max Verstappen.
He can, but it's still Max. But like
I mean we've seen it.
But that's why Max is so good.
Well, it was the Fernando quote. It was about Schumacher, right? I knew he'd break because he has a wife and kids at home.
Yeah,
that does not apply to Max. There's a clip of Max on a golf course shooting a gap with his family in the car just because he could.
Yeah,
it doesn't apply to Max. He's not going to break
the game. Yeah,
he's not going to break. He's going to win. So whereas Lando is a human. So
Max just has the lion mentality, bro. Like,
exactly. That's why I'm more confident that Lando could challenge Oscar or not Lando that could challenge Oscar. That Max could challenge Oscar than Lando.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know. I'm just really excited for the last few races. It's gonna be cinema, I think. Especially like even if Max doesn't win it, which I hope he does, like if he just cuts the entire lead down and we go into Abu Dhabi with Lando's 5 points behind, Max's 2 points behind, Oscar's still in the lead, and everything's just kind of like still up for grabs. Cinema, and I'm here for it.
Could be fire. Well, I know we said this last time about Singapore, but I do think Coda we'll know. I think we'll know with Coda. We'll be like, okay, how is this looking? If Oscar has another weekend where he underperforms, I'm ready to start saying the pressure's getting to him.
I think the pressure's already getting to him.
I think it did at Azerbaijan, but I don't know how consistent that is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he just had
because he's going to need
the bad weekend.
Max needs the pressure to get to Oscar every week.
Yeah,
because he needs Oscar to finish third consistently and Lando to finish second.
I think every week we see Max get a win. It's just building that pressure on Oscar even more because even if you can be as cool and collected as you want, if that's happening and you're slowly losing your title fight, that's going to be in the back of your head.
And if Oscar buys into this and convinces himself that McLaren is working against him, he's going to start overthinking everything.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And Mark Webber's not really doing him any favors by definitely shoving that idea into his head. Now, Mark Webber's smart. Mark Webber's doing what's best for his driver because Mark Webber's is representative. But I don't know that your driver needs that right now of you putting that thought in the back of his head that McLaren, that his team might be screwing him over.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know why Mark Webber's doing it because Mark Webber wants to really put pressure on McLaren because he's saying, he might go to Ferrari. And I don't think he's going to Ferrari. So
Let's stop that narrative.
Yeah, so like I think we got a lot of interesting racing coming up, and we'll be back next week for our little Coda preview, Circuit of the Americas
Yeah.
in Austin.
Yep. I don't think we'll have anything Sunday
We
because
won't. That's
no
for race
race.
recaps only. So
So nothing
is there a
Sunday.
sprint? Is there a sprint this weekend, or is there not one till Sao Paulo?
There's one in Coda. At least there was last year.
I think there is again this year. I can double check real quick.
Whenever I
If
was
you wanna,
there. Boom.
if you want to yap for a second, I'll pull this up.
Yeah. I went to Coda last year. That was super sick. Got to go to my first Formula One event. Yeah,
He
my
got me a
dad.
shirt that I literally just brought inside from my car since he gave it to me today. So
Eminem had his first concert, like he started his tour in Coda at the track. So I got to go to watch all the practices, the qualifying, the sprint quali, and the race. And then on, I think it was Saturday, so the day before the race, I got to go watch a little Eminem concert, and it was fire.
yes,
So
sir. There is the practice one, sprint qualifying, sprint, then qualifying, then the race. So
hype, bunch of points up
sprint
for grab,
weekend.
man.
So Max can make up 7 points this weekend.
Yep.
Maximum, which he needs.
Mm-hmm.
He can
Which
make up,
I think he can do.
or I guess a minimum of 7 points is what he would need to make up. Essentially, he can make up what? He can make up 34 points as a maximum.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick. Come on, Oscar.
No, it's not. Come on, Oscar. It's come on, Lance. Turn into him.
No. If we're talking about, bro, we got George Russell, bro. We all saw what he did to signs.
George don't be making accidents, bro. George be doing nothing these days. George does nothing. Bro, the only accident George has been involved in is that Max hit him this year. That's the only crash George has been involved in. Is someone Osama bin Russell George.
Yeah, and what are they calling a Kimmy now? Like
Kimmy Talibani.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what it is.
It's something like that because they just keep taking people out. Bro, him taking out Leclerc at Zandvoort was genuinely the funniest crash I've seen in a minute. Because the angle like they shoot it at, you could kind of just tell you're like, there's no way they're getting through this corner without contact. And it switches over and you just see Leclerc's car like sideways, bro, just ripping into the wall. It was
Kimmy been struggling these days.
Yeah. I wonder. He's doing good. He's doing fine. He's a rookie. He's learning.
He was doing fine. Then they went to Europe and he stopped doing fine real quickly.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, he didn't do great in Europe, but
he might be Checo. Hold on, he might be on. We might need to double check human rights.
Yo, wait.
How do you do in Azerbaijan? All right. Well, I think we should wrap it up here. I don't have anything else to say.
Let's see. Do I have anything else to add? Pierre Gasly Drivers Championship 2026.
Okay, that's more delusion. That's more delusional than a Ferrari fan.
I'm starting narratives.
That's more delusional than Ferrari.
I know. You gotta let me dream, bro.
No, I don't.
Bro. All right. But I think that's probably it. I don't think I have anything else. So yeah, we will see you guys back here next Thursday for the little Coda pre-race weekend chat. We hope you guys enjoy.
Rolls right off the tongue when you say it like that.
What?
Coda pre-race weekend chat.
I mean, I don't even know what to call it. It's just like
we'll be back for the United States Grand Prix race preview, or we'll be back next week for the race preview. That's what we'll be back for. Rolls off the tongue a little smoother.
We'll be back to bullshit about Formula One next Thursday. How about that?
Language.
I'll make sure to blur it out. All right. I'm ready to get out of here.
Not family friendly. Yeah, it's late. I want to go.
Yeah, I want to go eat. So I appreciate you guys for listening.
Thanks for listening.
For listening to a Simply Lovely podcast. Our links are down below. Go check them out, please. Caleb, do you want to plug anything? Or
are we on Apple Podcasts now? Are we on that?
We are. We are on Apple.
We're on Apple Podcasts, and we're on YouTube now, right? We should be.
Yeah.
I'll send you a thumbnail. We should be on YouTube. This one should be on YouTube. So
I think we're gonna
Get
it
us
on
where
YouTube.
you get your audio platforms, 5-star rating. Get some protein powder. Use Corbin's code.
Use
I
code
was gonna
Corb.
get some, but it's only 20 grams, and I need more grams than that. So if you're on a cut diet,
Just
if you're on a
double
cut
scoop.
diet, if you're on a cut diet and you need protein, get Corbin's. It looks like there's some flavoring in it. So
Yeah, I mean, I could start putting the ad in here that I put on my channel, but like no one wants to see that. I mean,
yeah,
unless
and
you,
I'm not getting any cuts from
yeah,
it.
he's not getting any cuts from it either. So yeah. It's like a juice protein. It's fire. You should go check it out. I should be ordering mine soon. So
He doesn't even have it. He doesn't even know if it's fire.
I don't. I'm
Yo,
gonna be
this guy
honest.
sold out. This guy sold out. By the way, Saudi Arabia, if you want to send us money, we will gas you up.
Oh
We
yeah,
don't have
absolutely.
ethics. We have no
Yeah,
ethics.
Riyadh season. Yeah, if you want to send us
Riyadh
money,
season, let us know.
if you
We
want
will
us,
push propaganda.
absolutely,
China, no morals here.
bro, dude. Riyadh, they've just made like some metro like train station thing worth like billions of dollars. That was sick. That was
Bro,
super
the
sick.
esports World Cup is the greatest thing to happen to esports. Saudi Arabian Grand Prix is amazing.
It actually
Riyadh
is.
season is saving boxing. WWE, I love that WrestleMania is happening in Riyadh every year. Send us money,
Yep. If you want to hear my
please.
thoughts about that, go check out the freestyle Corbin Elliott on the
Send
Wrestling
us
Rundown.
money. Don't do that if you're gonna send us money. Don't do that.
But if you just want to
I
send us money,
disagree.
that'd be pretty
I
sick.
disavow everything he just said because
I
I
actually,
love Saudi Arabia.
I actually think I said it was a good thing. I just disagreed with one certain thing. But if you want to hear my opinions, you got to
I
go
don't
check it out.
disagree. Saudi Arabia on top. Send me money.
Yeah.
Please.
That'd be pretty sick. I mean,
Hypothetically. I guess I shouldn't be saying Saudi Arabia is fire until you send me money. Just know I will sell out for Saudi Arabia if you want to send me money.
actually, literally just anyone. If anyone just wants to start just like feeding us money, that'd be pretty
Except
sick.
Canada. I don't like you. Or Britain. You suck. No
We're
amount of
starting
money.
narratives.
No amount of money would make me gas up Britain or Canada.
Best thing that came out of Britain was like Ted Lasso, which I don't even know. That's the best part, but not
That's
season
crazy.
3.
That's
Not
insane.
season 3.
No, best thing to come out of Britain is America. Bum, 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 bum.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye. That's a good way to end it.
Is it?
That's a great way to end it. America's the
like
best thing to come out of Britain.
Boo!
We're talking about a European sport. We're talking about a European sport, and the Americans are here. Cadillac 2026 Constructors Champions.
Logan Sargent makes his return.
Boom!
Also, I don't even know if we talked about this. He did low-key kill it in the 6 hour of Indianapolis whenever he drove in his.
All right, hold on.
His
We're
LMP2.
now that we've attached that we're Americans talking about F1. All the races suck. NASCAR better. Miami best circuit on the calendar. End it.
Hell no.
Leave a follow.
Absolutely not.
Subscribe. Leave a follow. Drop a like. 5-star rating. We'll see you next week.
He's not being serious.
Goodbye.
He's not being
Totally
serious.
serious.
Subscribe.
Dead serious.
Nope, he's not being serious. I'm just gonna make you sit like that. I'm not even gonna
End it.
Bye.